Your body isn't doing much, but your mind feels exhausted. Not tired in the physical sense, just drained, foggy, like something has been quietly running in the background all day. What's strange is that it can happen even on days when you barely move at all. You can wake up already feeling behind, sit for most of the day, and still feel like your brain has been working non-stop by the evening. For most of human history, mental effort was closely tied to physical effort. Thinking happened while walking. Planning happened while building, traveling, or searching for food. Problem-solving happened in the middle of doing something tangible. And rest happened naturally in between. There were long stretches where nothing demanded attention. No alerts, no updates, no constant stream of information asking to be processed. When the body stopped, the mind often slowed down with it. But today, that connection is mostly gone. The body can be completely still, while the brain stays fully active. Scrolling, switching, checking, responding, monitoring. Even when you're sitting quietly, your attention is rarely at rest. A feed keeps moving. A video keeps playing. A notification sits in the back of your mind waiting to be checked. None of this feels demanding on its own. Watching something feels passive. Scrolling feels harmless. Listening feels easy. But together, these small inputs keep the brain in a constant state of engagement. The brain doesn't distinguish very well between important input and harmless input. A message from a friend, a breaking headline, a recommended video, a background conversation. It all gets processed. Each piece has to be evaluated, filtered, decided on. Is this relevant? Is this urgent? Should I remember this? Should I respond? Those decisions happen automatically, but they're not free. Every decision uses cognitive energy, and when those decisions never stop, mental fatigue builds quietly. This is why your brain can feel tired even when you haven't done anything physically difficult. Not because you worked too hard, but because your brain never stopped being engaged. There's another layer to this that often goes unnoticed. When stimulation is constant, the brain rarely enters an idle state. And idle doesn't mean empty. It doesn't mean wasted. It doesn't mean lazy. It's a specific mode the brain uses to recover. It's where memories organize themselves, where emotional responses settle, where thoughts connect without being forced. It's the state the mind enters when it's not being directed. But constant stimulation interrupts that process. The moment things get quiet, something fills the space. A phone, a video, a notification, music playing just to avoid silence. The brain stays online, and when the brain stays online for too long, it becomes less efficient. Focus doesn't disappear suddenly, it erodes. Decisions feel heavier than they should. Simple tasks take more effort. Motivation drops without an obvious reason. Nothing feels urgent, but nothing feels satisfying either. Because the brain is working without recovering. This kind of fatigue doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't feel like panic. It doesn't feel like stress. It feels dull, muted, like mental static. You try to rest, but rest doesn't quite work. You sit down, you scroll, you watch something, and afterward, you don't feel restored. That's because passive stimulation isn't rest for the brain. Watching something still requires attention. Scrolling still requires decisions. Consuming still keeps the mind oriented outward. True recovery happens when attention loosens, when nothing new is coming in, when the mind isn't being pulled in a direction, when thoughts are allowed to wander without purpose. Those moments are rare now, and without them, mental fatigue becomes the default. So when your brain feels tired even though your body hasn't done much, it isn't a personal failure. It isn't a lack of discipline. It isn't laziness. It's a predictable response to constant engagement. Mental exhaustion isn't always a sign of doing too much. Sometimes it's a sign of never letting the brain disengage.